orange buff away from the side of Yushin Shin.
Literally bamboozled us, I will say. That is quite a bamboozle.
Yeah.
Is there more other words funny enough to say other than bamboozle?
Well, I'll tell you what's funny. Flying Cloud coming back into the map once again. Yeah, it seems like, the rest of this MPL Singapore yesterday, it's mostly just Flying Clouds over and over again. And it seems like we were going to go back into Flying Clouds for this particular map. Flying Clouds has been a very controversial map. I'm starting to love it a little bit, especially when you are playing on the defense. You can just reinforce very quickly to the front lines or set up a very good flank on the sides. And then after that, you play for some crazy pick-off plays. Like, for example, even a potential Alice, because like Alice, I would say, is also wide open in the game earlier just now, but it wasn't picked up by any of these teams.
As such, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 is going to be on the way as we move on to the drafting phase with Evil on the first pick, first ban, and Team Flash on second pick, second ban. So far, we have the Hayabusa, Kimi, Yves, Baxia, CC, and Yi Sun Shin that has been joined in the banning pool.
Yeah, right now, all of a sudden, you can see how Team Evil is actually targeting onto Curtizi. This is a very interesting observation. We haven't seen Curtizi heroes getting targeted like this before. It's usually targeting onto Vanix, it's usually targeting onto Hades. But now, Coach Brito has his eyes set on Curtizi.
And in the meantime, Coach Adam here looks into that Lancelot and be like, we're taking this for ourselves.
Yep, choosing first pick is great. Joy will be the selection from the side of Team Evil in terms of the jungle pick. Team Flash goes back to something regular because you don't want to really go ahead into the second phase ban without selecting Curtizi heroes right now. It's going to be a Farsa. Farsa is, I would say, not the best in slot, especially when you're going up against a Crop, going up against a Joy as well. So it's all about timing where Curtizi opens up the Feather Airstrike.
Honestly, at this point in time, the way that the Farsa has been added in doesn't look like a problem to me if I am in Team Evil. I have a fast-moving assassin on my end, which can kind of bounce between creeps and heroes, whereas it helps me evade all of these artillery shots. I am not afraid. In fact, the only thing that I will be afraid of is for my gold laner marksman, if Evil even would want to go towards that direction.
Yeah, even from the side of Team Flash, I really don't blame Vanix at all in a particular game. It's really hard because Van is equalizing every single poke that you're doing against Ruby, right? Like, it's just something that you really have to try to hunker down and hope for the best on the other side of the map. But if the other side of the map is neutralized, your mid lane is actually crumbling, unable to rotate faster and harder. By the way, if you are a Lunox, it's very hard for you to wave clear as quickly as compared to a Kimi. That's why, Sayla is really active around the map. And don't forget, you got Aether that is just really miles and miles ahead. And if Jay doesn't really catch onto the Lancelot easily, it's very hard for them to do anything at all during the mid parts of the game.
The two of the most famed gold lane fighters has now joined into the banning pool. We, unfortunately, still don't have a right idea as to how the side lanes is going to look like. We have no fighters, no XP laners, and we have no gold laners that's shown out. And unfortunately, Evil, this time, as the first pick, first ban, will be the one to have to show their entire team lineup, giving Team Flash the possibility of outdrafting Evil with their X Factor R5.
I'm thinking Moskov right here for the side of Team Flash. Something, you tap onto the Gato Kachas Global, you'll be able to jump far away. You can deal with the Joy, you can throw Spear of Misery over there, but there's also still a CC immunity from the side of that. Oh, Yuzhong coming up.
Yuzhong has been leaked? Okay. Apparently that has been leaked all the way through.
Yep, Alice as well.
Bear is going to be real happy about this.
Yeah, Alice as well, right? Team Evil can also play this one. Imagine Alice goes in with the TOR right when the far side opens up with the Feather Heavens as well. There's some iframes from the side of Team Flash. Hopefully that's good enough. But right now, I think they're just going to leak out that leak out the goal lane just a little bit. Okay, we're going to go back into regular programming for the side of Team Evil. They tried to use it yesterday against Team Flash. But Van going in for the Cho. This is a Cho gold lane for the side of Team Evil.
I can totally understand the fact that they have decided to go towards this direction. They don't need a reason to deal with a high ground Farsa if they're just going to be playing dive all the way through. Especially with someone like Cho in the gold lane with great mobility, you can quite literally Jit Kun Do and Shumpo your way and out of that ultimate from Farsa. It's either you go out or you go in, or you sidestep to the point that the ultimate from Farsa becomes irrelevant.
Is this a time where Team Flash goes for a fight the jungle? Fight the side lanes, mind you. It's going to be not the case. It's going to lock into the Moskov. And now it's once again going to be a race, right? Team Flash need to race and make sure that Moskov get a good game and also farm up. Go into the late game as quickly as possible. They've got certain regions from the side Team Flash are able to do so. The Lancelot is activated right at the get-go. Very solid hero pick, especially early to mid. You obviously got Farsa, the Yuzhong Ds, and also the Gatakacha. These are the four heroes that really escalated tremendously at level 4.
I do extremely like the fact that there is a Moskov in this game against a dive composition. Very self-sustaining in the gold lane. And of course, you can pin the people that is chasing right after you. As such, ladies and gentlemen, this is the full lineup between Team Evil and Team Flash as we enter into game number 2, with Evil gaining their first win, completely unfought for, unchallenged. Evil is happy with game 1 win. Will that be the case again for game 2? And if whether Evil can take the second game in a row.
Well, Team Flash, at the very least, they do have heroes that these players do play very often, right? Vanix is back in his signature. Moskov, Cortese as well, back to his signature. Farsa as well. Hades, on the other hand, also solid on these assassins. So it's up to whether Flash SG. Now, this is the most comfortable position, most comfortable picks. Are they going to be able to take game number 2?
Now, of course, with the identification that each of the junglers are now in their own respective jungler. We're not going to change anything about that. And there's nothing that's going to change for the side of Hades.
Yep. Especially when you're a Cho going up against, this is exactly what you will be able to do, right? The fighter in the early game just escalates so much faster as compared to the marksmen. The marksmen definitely need more time, and that's the power of Team Evil right now. Yesterday, when they're going up against Team Flash using almost the same kind of roster for the side of Ven, I want to see more rotations on this Cho. Start joining the turtle fight on the other side of the map. It's okay to let Vanix basically farm up, because if you speed run this, like what happened in game number 1, Team Evil may sneak away game number 2.
So we do have a little bit of a babysitting service down in the gold lane as both teams identify that that is something that they're chasing for. For Team Flash, they're chasing for the fact that Moskov does not die and starts putting the Gatakacha down at the bottom. But for Ven, as together with Powerful, they identify that Vanix is someone that can be killed. And with the help of Grok, Ven can potentially do something about this.
But that's also a problem, right? Look at where Powerful is pouncing, because Jay was too busy babysitting Vanix all the way down bot. They've forfeited mid lane priority, and now Cortese has to go all the way back. It is Sayla that has a stronger early game right now. It should be able to pop to level 4 faster as compared to the Feather Airstrike. All of a sudden, early game gameplay is already slightly awkward for the side of Team Flash.
This is what you can expect coming in from a gold lane Cho. Literally right into the face of Vanix and in the face of Moskov. But for now, with the turtle currently now under attack, we've got Evil as well as Flash. They're just going to be looking straight into this as Cortese opens things up when it comes down to Feather Airstrike with the first blood onto down to gear. But more than that, we also do have Aether that doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. With one man down for the side of Evil and the turtle going to the side of Evil, it is a little bit of a trade-off that we'll like to see. But now we have the Lantern that picks up Jay, and now Evil with a wild charge from Powerful picks up a kill onto Jay. Ven coming in from the side and looking for more opportunities. As such, goes in, flicker, but it doesn't seem like we will be able to continue on with this.
Yeah, and that was a very critical turtle, right? Team Flash loses the turtle over the side of Team Evil, but they're at least able to punish, picking up 2 members, but now I think they've overheated here.
As Gear now is putting a very good fight against both the Lancelot as well as the Yuzhong.
Oh, Aether, once again, this Peasky boy, picking up another purple buff away from the side of Team Flash. Hades definitely needed that purple buff because they've already lost 1 turtle now, and because of that, Aether is gonna get a better second turtle chance in the next turtle fight.
It is currently at level 6 and Hades is at level 5. We already have a bit of disparity in terms of level. That will definitely bring forward in the next 48 seconds or so.
Yeah. Cortese picking up 2 kills, absolutely wonderful for him. Now you've got a strong mid lane. Feather Airstrike earlier just now was very pivotal in that team fight earlier just now. As Team Evil, I think because of how Sailor has been playing the juice in, it's actually very annoying. Once he goes into Crimson Beacon, the members on the side Team Flash need to try to die for this one.
As now Gear finding himself in a really tough spot. Not much that he can do against a 3-man gank.
Yeah, the Phobius was actually a very interesting choice coming up from Coach B-Toy to be able to deal with Hades, right? Phobius ultimately kind of fell off the meta slightly, but if you look at how Gear was able to play the Phobius earlier just now, even though he lost 2 times, he was able to hold down the fort just a little bit longer, allowing Evil to slowly sneak in the damage against Team Flash.
With the turtle now spawned, enmity towards the side of Powerful. Jay just around the vicinity, taking a little bit of pot shots from the side of Sailor. It's not going to do too much, but at least they're buying a little bit more time, as they have information at the very least, is that Aether is above in levels as compared to Hades.
Aether.
Because this is just what Aether will constantly be doing. They have, of course, a little bit of information as well, that both of the junglers have used their retribution, and unfortunately, because of the fact that Aether is currently at level 8, Hades will lose in the retribution battle, even in the purple buff.
Man, Aether has been sticking away the purple buff like this. It's actually starting to hurt Hades, right? Hades is now really way behind in terms of the level. The first turtle earlier just now, given over the side Team Evil, allowing Aether to basically, not an equal retreat battle right there, of course, because Hades is actually 1 level down. And apart from that, you know, I think all eyes definitely going to be Vanix. Vanix is the only one that can potentially pull back the whole game. You can add that Cortese into that list as well. These 2 damage dealers on the side Team Flash will have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders.
And due to the fact that it is double fighter lanes from the side of Evil, they're constantly going to be having very strong information and, of course, ruling in the river lines. As such, allowing Aether to slip through the gaps and going into the opponent's buff time and time again. I wouldn't necessarily say that Jay is not opening him up the map enough. Nope. It's just too much things for Jay to handle.
Yeah, definitely right. Ven could be anywhere on the Cho gold lane, right? And now it's going to be up to Bear. Goes in the Black Dragon form already, try to open up the map, move on more, and Ven is a lot more active on the map.
Baron is literally going to be in the midst of the battle while Cortese opens up in the Feather Airstrike. Hades somehow still manages to take a turtle, which is a very big win. Baron now getting a kill down at Ven, pushing the rest of Evil back home.
That's amazing for the side of Team Flash, right? And now it swings back in the favor of Team Flash. A wonky start in the early game, a wonky start for game number 1, and this Flash is making a statement. I am not to be trifled with.
Even though Hades is playing from behind, he still manages to find an opportunity. Yeah. One of the big things about a Lancelot is that you do have instant bursts that can help you deal random damage or sudden damage to a lot right before you use the retribution. That is going to be one of the key components that helps you.
Nice gank around the mid lane right there. Hades actually picking up the helping. Getting an assist is actually the one that's keeping him in the game. And now all of a sudden the mid lane is already gone.
It's now Van down to the bottom lane, almost getting the kill down onto Vanix. And indeed, Powerful will take that bounty.
Death by a wall.
Death by a wall.
Vanix
just down from below.
Literally slammed his face right into that wall, but it's still Team Flash paying a bit of a favor up top, pushing down top side, trading Vanix for that one. Slowing Vanix down is definitely going to be helpful for the side of Team Evil. Taking a look at the items, Corrosive Slime, and going straight into a Golden Staff right off the bat. But it is Cortese already online with that glowing one and also the magic penetration boots.
For the 200 gold for both of the gold laners. But in the meantime, we also do have got... Oh, wait, hold on a second. Down in the bottom lane, seems like they are really one Vanix as he smell blood in the water. Jay was hoping he will be able to do something when it comes down to AOG, but was just a tad bit away. We've got a conceal, we've got a Black Dragon form, but they were unable to find and pull off any form of trade.
Yeah, Vanix is just chilling in the kiddie pool right there, and all of a sudden a Megalodon or shark just appears, and that's exactly what Team Evo is, right? Now they're focusing their targets mostly onto Vanix. Slowing Vanix down is exactly the game plan for the side of Team Evo for now.
But they will definitely be trading some shots here and there as Cortese opens up when it comes down to Feather Airstrike. They pick up a kill down onto Gear. The rest of the members from Evil, they're still going to be chilling around as they try to look for more and more trades. They're losing out in trades for sure. Evil, they will start to lose out more as now Flash have got 2,000 gold lead on top of Evil and they have regained posture.
Aether is trying to charge up the dashes as quickly as possible, but he's not able to do so. Vanix, yes, down to that, but he's able to join any form of fight. Van is being super annoying for the side of Team Flash right now because Van, as his Cho gold lane, is just opening up the map as well and also finding key targets.
There's gonna be a two-man tectonic charge, allowed Powerful to get a kill down. However, Hades did manage to get with the turtle, or rather the lockdown. Powerful will go down in the meantime, but jungle against jungle. Hades takes the first L, while Ven continues to encapsulate the entire moment by getting a kill down on the bear. It's a 1-4-3 trade, while the Lord still goes over the side of Flash, and in fact it's not quite over just yet, as Evil really wanted a T1 turret.
Yes, I don't know who got a very good trade, right? Flash SG needs to sacrifice 3 members from the side of themselves just to be able to take down the Lord, which kind of slows down, kind of deny it. But Team Evil made it a bit of a stalemate, right? Mid lane also cracked open for the side of Team Flash, but Team Flash has the Baby Lord.
The Baby Lord marches in, ready to pillage all of the standing objective that Evil has. All these small little random bounty across the map is going to be some rich red packet over to Flash SG.
Yep. But Team Evil was able to crack open mid, and then after that, go ahead and fix the waves. Now, Team Flash sending this Lord down, I think, is just gonna be like watered down and saying there's nothing you can gain out of this one, especially when you look. Team Evil fixing down bot lane. Ven is also down there as well. Flash need to make a play right here. Conceal play also going. Here comes the Black Dragon form.
I don't know if whether they will actually commit into this. Indeed, they will. It does seem like Aether is going to be the first one that will be under the chopping block. However, they were trying to go for a little bit of a trade onto Bear as he dove in right underneath of the turret.
Van doing God's work down at the bottom lane right here. Team Evil was actually having a bit of problem right there. At least they were able to pick up Bear up the top, but Van is the one that led down the siege down bot. He's sneaking all these objectives away from Team Flash.
It's completely tallied out, and I would say that the trade is fair. And for losing a jungler, you take 1 turret in the bottom and also you take 1 XP laner out of the equation. It's pretty fair in my honest opinion, with Evil now having a slight tad bit of gold advantage of 600 gold in total economy.
Yeah, but right now, you know, if you asked me earlier just now, but hold on a second, there's going to be a slight pick off right there from the side. Ben, the kick was already, sorry, no kick, there's a knock up onto Hades. But if you asked me earlier just now, Abstract, who actually got the Lord, I would say it looks like Team Evil was the one that got the Lord because Flash did not get anything out of that Baby Lord. And in fact, they lost even more. They lost 3 members to get that Lord right there. They lose the bottom lane turret, and then after that, as they're trying to lay down siege up top, Bear got killed as well by the side of Team Evil.
Essentially, it's going to be a tough spot for us to really identify how is it going to be like for both teams. But for sure, Team Flash, they have higher sustenance going into the later stages due to the fact that they have a late game monster, and that is a Moskov. Moskov has got the potential, has got the ability to go for cross-map plays. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, Vanix has been missing a lot of critical SODs already. And you can see that, yes, there's definitely potential, but Vanix needs to start joining the fights. Maybe it's time for him to basically not play the side lanes because Van is more than happy to fix all these lanes. And it's also going to be slightly scary, right? If Van is definitely going to be building mostly damage. You can just easily Jeet Kundo and after that knock out Vanix, and all of a sudden Vanix is in an awkward position. So we're looking at mostly Team Evil versus Team Flash, a 4v4 right here.
Let's take a look down
what I told you.
up in the top lane.
Oh! Critical SOD and miss Abstract.
Ben no longer has the flicker. But in the meantime, the main team fight all the way down to the bottom side, as we do have got Aether and Van taken down. It does still advantage. What is his own 1v1? While the rest of the Flash team is just going to be going all the way down south. While Gear continues to fly up to the sky, continuously slamming down his monolith, but it doesn't seem to phase off Team Flash.
Team Flash, that clutch right coming into Cartesian picking up a godlike earlier just now. Vagnix, that 1v1, even after the SOD miss, was still able to pick up Ven, and now they can convert this into what? A 4-member down for the side of Team Evil and also potential Lord. This is an enhanced Lord this time around, going in the pockets of Flash SG.
The idea of Evil going dive and being able to sidestep against Cartesi's artillery shots unfortunately has been trumped, as Evil is starting to lose more numbers than they could have counted, as Cartesi already have managed to frame up 7 heads on his own plug.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need a win of nature for the side of Vanix, right? The burst potential coming up from Ben is there. Cho is like an assassin that Vanix had to look out for as well. And it's a gold for gold trade. It is an equal trade. Team Flash, on the other hand, they also cannot send Hades to start split pushing the map because potentially if Ben goes in, assassinates Hades right there, then it's also more worth it. Team Evo will have a stronger objective priority.
Taking Lord is going to be a tad bit difficult as now Bear soars above the sky as the Black Dragon. While we cut easy all the way at the back when it comes down to the Feathered Airstrike as well. More or less to be enough to push the rest of Evil away. However, Jay got a little bit tad bit too far in. Not with the AOG though, but he still found himself too deep in, probably because of Van.
Twice for the side of Team Flash. You're trying to push something, right? Push it down the top side turret and maybe hopefully crack open both top and mid at the same time. But Team Flash ultimately got punished. Jay, like what he mentioned, flew too close to the sun. The wings wax got welted off. But at the very least, Team Flash still secures the mid lane turret for now. Look, items check right here. Vanix is slowly going into the Malefic Gun very soon. Wind of Nature, like what I highlighted, is going to be very pivotal for any ways to be able to counter Van. And now, I'm sorry, the trophy is kind of blocking the item being just a little bit. But if Van is going to go into what the BOD right there, this is going to be a massive amount of damage. If he plays cards right, and of course, you know, just start playing Bushwhack, Vanix may find it difficult to join in any of these fights.
Oh, this might be a small little catch that might translate into something, or maybe not. It is still a Farsa that does pretty darn good damage, as you can see. With the Glowing Wand, the Witching Lantern, and Divine Glaive, that would tear through even whoever that picks up an Athena's shield, which is what Grok has.
Yep. Well, at the very least, Vanix is actually started picking up these critical items. Genius Wand for the side of Kurtese. Kurtese's main damage is the one that's making sure Team Evo stay a little bit humble right here. But Ben will be able to say, Hades! You don't walk into the bar like that!
But Hades, it seems like he either number one already knew that. A little bit of toss, only to be punished! But wait, he still stays alive! He lives! Phantom gives chase! And now, Van has been punished! With one death over to the Son of Evil! Kurtese is down as well! But what's important is that bounty on the side of Kurtese that has went to someone! And that's big!
Vanix is trying to make a play out of that one, take the SOD, but he drags... Hades drags the whole members, literally playing with fire right here. Have the lighter up, and then literally like what? Playing with fire himself, literally, right? It feels like Hades has unlimited CD. It's a little bit unfair. This guy's been piloting this Lancelot like crazy.
It's kind of crazy how Van literally just ran straight in. To be fair, though, I do think that if he actually wins that, this will be a very good trade.
Yeah.
As much as Van is in the gold lane, he is not pos 1. So throwing his life away for a potential pos 2, or in this case position 2 of a jungler, that is massive amount of trade and that's a massive amount of value.
Yeah, definitely Van will show face up on the top side. Team Flash will start and go in. He'll be finding Aether for now.
As now the Black Dragon form is still up to the sky, and that is going to be a furious dive, just going to be landing on everyone. AOG on the 2, and now everyone's just going to be clumped together. No traces of it just yet. Only Bear taken down. So is Kurtese. The rest of the gear is just going to be putting himself right to the face of the enemies. What Katie picks up a killing spree. The rest of Flash SG, they don't have a lot of HP to work with, but they are still going to be doing their absolute best. Hades tries to walk himself away, but it does have got a little bit of thought throws to iframe. Out of all that fight, he gets away with a sliver.
How many times has Hades got away with sliver of health? It feels like his HP bars refused to go below 1. So many times to attempt this miraculous escape. And yet Vanix finally free hitting and doing up damage against Team Evo. If Team Evo is unable to catch Flash SG like that, burst them down immediately, this is exactly what happens. This is why I still prefer the gold lane marksman.
It's not going to be easy to just immediately assassinate Vanix. It does have got good sustainability when it comes down to a free blink off of his own skill. For every shot he takes, he goes down in cooldown as well. It does have got a way to pin you too.
How long do you think Hades have to play in order to practice Lancelot like that? Because those maneuvers are crazy.
Those maneuvers are hands down instinct. He has played the game so far, so much, in situations like these. He just knows how exactly to do or how exactly to act in some of these situations.
Yeah, Team Evil is literally pouring everything they've got to try to catch on to Hades, but Hades is just like untouchable, right? Literally Michael Jackson all the way, moonwalk, it's just stunning and also doing damage.
As such, remember, even though we are 18 minutes into the game, Team Flash may only have 2,000 gold lead on top of Evil. The main problem and the main change is the fact that we do not have a proper marksman from the side of Evil.
That's right.
Why is that such a big difference? It's because of passive damage. You don't have anyone to just free basic attack anyone and everyone from the side of Team Flash.
Yep.
Once you have expended all of your skills, you have ran out of mana, you have your skills on cooldown, your team is on downtime. While Team Flash, even if they are on downtime, they have a Moskov that will throw spears in your face, irregardless of mana pool.
Crimson Beacon already committed by the side of Sailor. Hades down low just a little bit more. Nice knockup though.
There's now Hades is still gonna be fine for now. Curtis is just gonna be popping himself into the Phantom Airstrike. He pushes everyone else away. Powerful doesn't have a lot of HP to work with as such. He will still go down to the hands of Vanix. That's the killing spree credited to him as now Ven finds himself in the top spot right in the heart of Flash. With 3% down from the side of Evil. Team Flash, they will try to make their way and they're marching over to Evil's base. They look for one, maybe two. In fact, they will with Aether down and Gear at the same time.
That's it. Evil trying to throw everything against Team Flash in game number 2. And Team Flash say, hey, you can play with fire and I will do so. No, sorry, I can play with clouds literally flying around your base because there's nobody left to defend it.
The celebration for Flash as they took that team fight in stride.